Hello, this is Dee from dmiddleton.com. Welcome back to my channel. Yesterday we started a new series that I called How to Make Money Blogging Using Pinterest. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around for this video and we'll talk about how to pick your niche in the top 20 Pinterest-friendly niches. So let's get started. So number one, the question you may have is why pick a niche at all? Remember, a niche is the topic that you blog about. So my website, dmiddleton.com, is about cleaning, decluttering, and organizing. So picking a niche would be cleaning, decluttering, and organizing. And then my domain name is dmiddleton.com. That's the name of your website. And we'll get into that in the next video. But why pick a niche in the first place? Why not do multiple niches and multiple topics? And there's a very simple explanation for this. And number one is brand recognition. And number two is authority. You want to create authority based on your domain. You want to be so good at what you do that when people hear your domain name, they immediately think of that particular niche, that particular topic. For example, when you think of the word or you hear the word Nike, you immediately think of athletic shoes and athletic clothing. That's brand recognition. Nike is known for shoes and clothing and athletic gear, right? Another brand that has good brand recognition is Coca-Cola. So if you hear the word Coke or Coca-Cola, you're going to think of a soft drink. You may even think of Coca-Cola products, but they are all drinks, right? Coca-Cola did not decide to create crackers or bread or snack foods. They chose drinks, soft drinks to be specific. So Coca-Cola has brand recognition. So that is what I mean by authority. They are an authority in soft drinks, right? Nike is an authority in athletic shoes and clothing. You can think of that as what they are known for, what they are famous for, and what they've gotten good at. So that's what I want for you. So as you're thinking about picking a niche, I want you to think about the things that you are already good at. Now, you may or may not have a degree or credentials in your niche. My degree has nothing to do with my niche. I went to college and graduated 26 years ago with Christian education degree. Now, certainly I've used those skills raising my kids, trying to teach my kids different things from home, but I am good at cleaning, decluttering, and organizing. That is something that is ingrained in me and has been so since I was a child. What do I mean? If you were to run into my childhood friends or my college roommates who lived with me, and they haven't seen me for years, and they find out that I have a blog about cleaning, decluttering, and organizing, they would not be surprised. They would say, yep, that's her. She was always a neat freak. She always wanted her bed made. She always kept the room clean. That's just who I am. It's been ingrained in me since I was a kid. And we're all bent a certain way. We're all gifted in a certain way. So maybe you're not born organized, but you have other qualities. Maybe you're very artsy. So I want you to think back to your childhood. As you're thinking of coming up with a niche, I want you to go way back in your memory and way back in your experience. Go to your childhood. Think of what are the things that you were known for? What are the things that you were good at? What things interested you then? Do they still interest you today? For me, they do. When I was growing up, my bed was always made unless I was in it. My sister and I shared a room. My side of the room was always spotless. If people were to come over and sit on my bed and mess up my space, it would bother me deeply, more than it would probably bother other kids. So that's just the way I'm bent. That's just about me. Now, another thing to think about when coming up with a niche is what type of content do you enjoy yourself right now? What content do you enjoy reading or watching videos or movies about? Think about that for a minute. I love watching before and after cleaning videos. I love watching people deep clean a car, detail a car. That's very satisfying to me. That's weird maybe to some people, but that is something I enjoy. That is me. That's ingrained in who I am. So as you're thinking of a niche, Is it something that you do already and that you do well and that you would do whether or not you were blogging, right? Because I want you to have authority. I want you to have experience in what you're talking about. I want you to be the source that people think of when they hear your domain name. You have the brand authority that says, yes, that's a person I would trust for that topic, right? So that's what we're aiming for here. So, what I want you to do, if you're trying to think of a niche, I'm going to go through those 20 top Pinterest friendly niches here in a minute. And we'll go into some of those, but I want you to think about what you know already. What is your skill set now? What are your talents now? And don't tell me you don't have any. So, even a stay at home mom, if you are successfully raising children, you're raising the next generation, and parenting is important. If your children are turning out well, could you say parenting is something that you have authority in? Possibly, right? So, I want you to explore these topics. I want you to brainstorm around these topics, but I want you to think about your unique skill set. I want you to write from a place of knowledge and experience. That's how you gain authority. So, what are some of the other qualifications for success if you're going to be a blogger? Number one, you need simple tools like a smartphone and a computer. But secondly, mentioned it just prior to this, is you need knowledge of a topic. You need extreme knowledge of this. You need to be good and be able to create enough content around this topic to create authority, right? And then the final one you need is character traits. These character traits are the main reason that I have consistently shown up and done this and been able to find success blogging. And those character traits are faithfulness and consistency. Faithfulness and consistency. So I show up every day at my computer. Usually I do Monday through Friday. Usually I do 2 hours a day, sometimes 1 hour a day. If I'm working on a new blog post and I'm having to create new photos and upload those photos and all of that work, that usually takes me about 2 hours. So can you see yourself doing that? Do you have 2 hours a day to devote to creating a blog? Do you have enough knowledge of a topic that you can write multiple blog posts? So as you're thinking of your niche, write down at least 3 that you think you might be leaning toward. You may want to hear the list first. That's fine. We'll go through the list. But I want you to think of 3 things that you're already good at. And then as you're thinking of those 3 niches, topic ideas that you're thinking of, you're going to just be able to pick one. But I want you to think, can I write at least 10 blog posts around that topic? At least 10. If you cannot think of at least 10 subtopics or things around that title, that niche, then you probably need to look again. Okay. The last thing I want you to do is, after you're thinking of these niches, if you're trying to settle down to one, that's the goal, right? So you may settle down to one and then it might have a few subcategories that are similar, right? So if you are unsure about what you're trying to decide to do and you need some confirmation, I would say talk to your spouse, talk to your best friend, talk with someone who can give you some honest feedback. Tell them, I'm thinking of starting a blog in such and such niche, and then ask them, what do you think? Does this suit me? They could probably tell you a direct yes or a direct no. Now let's get into the top 20 Pinterest-friendly blog niches and which ones to avoid. Now this comes from Pinterest Trends. This is a free tool, and I'm going to link that in my blog post below. So you can get this entire list in my blog post, and you can click over to the Pinterest Trends tool to find out this information. So number 1, top 20 Pinterest-friendly blog niches. Number 1, home organization and design. Number 2, home decor. Number 3, flower gardening and landscaping. Number 4, recipes and food. Number 5, DIY and crafts. Number 6, personal finance. Number 7, health and weight loss. Number 8, fitness. Number 9, self-improvement. Number 10, parenting. Number 11, homeschooling and education. Number 12, weddings. And that could be other events too, birthday parties, bridal showers. Number 13, travel. Number 14, fashion. Number 15, beauty. Number 16, printable and planner content. Number 17, seasonal and holiday content. Number 18, pets. Number 19, blogging and online business. And number 20, simple living and homemaking. Now, there are tons of topics on Pinterest. I was just trying to come up with the top 20 for you to get a place to start to see if your audience is on Pinterest, because that's important. Niches to avoid. Now, this is not just coming from me. This is coming from the platform of Google. This is coming from YouTube. This is coming from Pinterest. Medical advice. Do not give medical advice if you are not a licensed medical doctor from a school of medicine at a accredited college or university, and you have a license to practice medicine. Don't give medical advice. It's going to get you possibly banned or definitely suppressed, right? Because Pinterest, Google, none of these platforms want to put out medical advice that's false, right? They can't be vetted. The second thing is anything harmful or controversial. What could that be? For example, if I came out and said essential oils cure cancer, that's controversial, right? It's not proven. It's not something that you want to be putting out there. If you try to put something harmful, that could be harmful, right? And controversial, then Pinterest is going to suppress it. It may even get your account banned. So avoid these topics, avoid things like that. If you're not qualified to do it, don't do it. Now, in the next video, we want to talk about how to buy a domain. Remember, the domain is the name of your website. You have to buy that. I bought dmiddleton.com, and I have to renew that every year as the owner. And then secondly, we're going to talk about how to set up a WordPress blog. So I'm going to walk you through that if you'll follow me into the next video. So I appreciate your time. Leave any comments or questions you have below, and thank you for watching.